It's a quick hazar of Amar Rabbi Bahuna. Ein mayed b'fnei Tam Chacham. So Rabbi Bahuna says that when it comes to Tam Chacham dying and it's on Cholamayid, so we don't do the regular Cholamayid stuff. We go to Levaya, and we have a regular Levaya. Kol Shekain Chanukah Purim. So we should learn from this that Chanukah Purim, which is lesser, which we already proved, lesser than Cholamayid. So Kol Shekain Chanukah Purim, we should be able to have Levayas and push off the regular Seder Hayyim that would be on Chanukah Purim. That's because we're talking about Kavod HaTorah. We're talking about the honor of Torah. Kavod HaTorah the Yakut Chomer. The Kavod HaTorah of a Levaya of a Talmid Chacham is more Chomer than the Seder Hayyim of Purim. Talmid Torah the Yakut Kal. Just learning Torah, the person learning Torah and therefore missing, Megillah, he wouldn't be able to do that. You have to go here to Megillah. Amar Rava. Rava says, Pshitali avodah Megillah adif. It's partial to me if you have a choice of avodah in the Beis Mikdash or going to hear the Megillah, make a Megillah adif. Listening to the Megillah is more important. The Rabbi Yosef bar Chanina. From the Rabbi Yosef bar Chanina. The Rabbi Yosef bar Chanina that we have is the Kal V'Chaimer of Mishpacha, the limit of Mishpacha. Not the Kal V'Chaimer, the limit from Mishpacha. We have the extra word of Mishpacha. The double lashon. What is it coming to teach us? It's coming to teach us that the families of the Kahuna, the Kaihanim and the Lim, leave the avodah Beis Mikdash to hear the Mikra Megillah. Talmud Torah Mikra Megillah adif. Why? Midasam Kushal Beis Rabbi. And if you have Mikra Megillah or Talmud Torah, so you would close your Gemara and go listen to the Megillah. From where? Midasam Kushal Beis Rabbi. Like we learned, they pass on halach of Beis Rabbi that Kaihanim B'Vidasam Levim Mishim Zimram, that the Kahanim and the Levim leave the Talmud Torah and go here Mikra Megillah. Talmud Torah Meis Mitzvah adif. If you have Talmud Torah, you're in the middle of learning, you say there, and somebody comes into the Beis Medrash and he says, "Oh, there's a Meis Mitzvah over here. There's nobody here, to bury him." Meis Mitzvah adif. You close your Gemara and you go bury the Meis Mitzvah with the Tanya, because we learned in a brisa. Mevatel Talmud Torah lo yitzas meis ulachnas kala. You're mevatel Talmud Torah, you close the Gemara and you go do yitzas meis or hachnas kala. Avodah Meis Mitzvah. Now, if you're by the Beis Mikdash and you're doing avodah, and comes in an opportunity to do Meis Mitzvah, that there's nobody else to bury this person. Meis Mitzvah adif mi'ula choisei. Meis Mitzvah, you would leave the avodah Beis Mikdash to go take care of a Meis Mitzvah. Mi'ula choisei. Right. So, what's the limit of ula choisei? Ula choisei is talking about a nazir. A nazir. One of the things he can't drink wine, even any grape products. He has to grow his hair, and he also has to not become tamei at all. He doesn't become tamei at all. The only situation that he would become tamei would be like we discussed in Meis Mitzvah. So what's the limud? The pasuk says that the nazir doesn't become tamei to any of his kroivim, doesn't become tamei to enemy. Al nefesh meis lo yavai. He doesn't become tamei to the tamei meis. And then it says not to his father, his mother, his sister, his brother. So the father, there were three different limudim. One of them was that if he's a kohen and a nazir. One of them was if he's a kohen gadol and a nazir. The last one that we have is lachoisai. So it seems to be he already said his father, his sister, his brother. So lachoisai, what? The Tanya, ulachoisai. Matam laimar. So what is ulachoisai coming to teach us? Because we learned the limit from his father, learned the limit from his brother, from his. So what's the sister coming to teach? Harei shahaya haylach lishkoi das piskoi. Someone that was on his way to bring his korban pesach, b'loma as benai, or to be mal, do the mitzvah milah of his son. B'shamash hameis loy meis, and he heard that one of his brother or his sister loylemu died. Yachol yatama. We might think that you tell him to go be matama for his sister or his brother. Amata lo yatama. We say no, you're not matama because it says to his brother he's not matama, to his sister's not matama. Yochol geshem she'en matama lachoizo yikach en matama l'meis mitzvah. So we might think that just like he's not matama to anybody, he's not matama to his brother. He's not. The Torah doesn't tell specifically meis mitzvah. We learn that from limud. Tam lo yimar ulachoisai. So that's what ulachoisai teaches us. The limit of ulachoisai, the actual word of ulachoisai, lachoisai hu de'en matame. To his sister he wouldn't be matame. Avol matame the meis mitzvah, but he would be matame to a meis mitzvah. Adkan Chazar, right? Boy Rava. Rava asks, Mikra Megillah u'meis mitzvah. So you have the mitzvah of Mikra Megillah, listening to the Megillah, and you have a mitzvah of meis mitzvah. Hai minayhu adif. Which one is the more important mitzvah over here? So Mikra Megillah adif mishum pesur minisa. A is Mikra Megillah might be the better one, the more important one, because you have Pesum Nisa, which is a very important mitzvah. That's why we Pesum Nisa is like celebrating, but commemorating, I think is the word that we're looking for. Publicizing. Oh, that's
That's
a
what
good.
it says. Publicizing the miracle.
Publicizing the miracle. Okay, good. Right, so that's what like Hanukkah, like a lot of the main mitzvah of lighting the Hanukkah lech is Pesum Denisa, is not just like us memorizing, it's like memorizing for our families, memorizing for the people on the street that are passing by. Oi, or B, Dilma Meis Mitzvah Adif. Maybe Meis Mitzvah is more Mishum Kavod Abrius, because Meis Mitzvah is a person never has nobody to bury him, unfortunately. So it becomes everybody's problem to bury this person, right? So this is it's Kavod Abrius. Kavod Abrius, one of the biggest things in Kavod Abrius is having a mace, like unattended mace. Like a mace, that's one of the worst things that we could think of, is like somebody dies and he's just not buried. He's just like, staying somewhere in a box. Lo yaleinu. Basa debaya hada pashta. So after he asked after Rabbah, after Rabbah asked, he quickly answered. Hada pashta. He asked the question and then he answered the question. Meis mitzvah adif. Meis mitzvah is the more important one. Is the more would take precedence over Mikra Megillah. The Amar Mar Gadol Kavod Abrius Shadoich Es Loisase Shabbatayra. Mar said, Gadol Kavod Abrius is the greatest thing, because it would push off a Loisase. So if you have a Loisase, usually a positive mitzvah doesn't push off a don't do, right?
Say that.
They do every morning.
Right, I'm sure he would want to come here and
Start
watch
something
him.
new. It's a whole new Gemara that starts now.
Gifa.
I'll take over.
Amar Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi.
Gifa. New segment.
Guf is the text, right? That's how Archibald translates it. The text. Amar Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. Krach v'chol hasamachloi v'chol hanera imai. So this might seem familiar to some people. Krach v'chol hasamachloi, the city, right? A walled city. V'chol hasamachloi, and whoever's near that city, v'chol hanera imai, and everything that is seen together with it, I think is the word. That's v'chol hanera imai. That's seen together with it. In other words, when you look down at that city, so you see the other cities or yishuv, where people live outside. Nidan kekrach. It's all judged like the city, in reference to when they hear the Megillah, because we're back to the days of when Megillah. Tana samach afal pi she'ein nira afal pi she'ein samach. Right. So the text. The text. This is what Rabbi Shua ben Levi. The text says samach afal pi she'ein nira. If it's close to the city, even though you can't see it from the city. Nira afal pi she'ein samach. Right? Or if it's close, or if it's seen but it's not close. So we're going to pull this apart a little bit. Bishlam nira afal pi she'ein samach mishkachas la. If you say that it's seen but it's not so close, you could find such a scenario. Kigoyim the Yasuf Rosh Hashar, right, where the city is on top of a mountain. So then you have stuff that, if you by the next mountain, for instance, and you're looking at that mountain, so maybe that's why I had to go to the Smoky Mountains. So like you understand, like you're standing on one mountain, you see over the other side, mountain. So like you see the city on top of the mountain, and then you see the people who live around the mountain, which are not in the wall of the city, but they would still be, right? So that's seen, but not near. Elasamoch, but near and not seen. Elasamoch avol pi she'ein nira heich mishkachas lo. How do you have a scenario of where it's close but you can't see it? Amar Rabbi Yirmiyah. Rabbi Yirmiyah says sheyeshav is benachal, where the city is inside the valley. So then you have the city, but you can't see what's up because you're down in the valley. Azoi.
It's like a whole bunch of Gemuras that say like,
There's a lot of Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi's now. Yes. Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. Noch a minor from Yeshua ben Levi. Krach Yoshav, a city that the people lived in, Ulubasayf Hukaf. And afterwards they built a wall around it. Nidan Kikvar. It's considered a village. My time, huh? What's the reason? So Kfar would be, if they read on Yom Knisa, then you would be Makdim into Yom Knisa if it was a Kfar.
Wasn't that whole thing is only by...
Yeah,
Right, so we're going to discuss when we talk about that it was settled, when it was settled, and when it was... Right. Nidan Kfar. My time, the Ksiv. The Ishki Yimka Beis Moishav Ir Chayma. And a man that builds a Moishav, a dwelling, Ir Chayma, in a city that has a wall. Shehukaf, Ulabasayf Yoshav, Veloisha Yoshav, Ulabasayf Hukaf.
First has to be the wall.
First the wall has to be there, and then you build the yishuv, then you build the city around it.
So this is going on the Moshe Shubanim Taga?